Giants against the Saints. 2 more Super League points on the line, and it will be the Huddersfield Giants who get first use of the ball here at the John Smith Stadium. But a great chase from the kick there from St Helens, and the first contact 5 off the line as Greenwood, the former Saints man, is tackled. Here goes Bibby. He carries it forward. Gets to get out of their own 10 here.
Wait, on the mark, go. On the mark, Jay.
It's Leroy Cudjoe, the evergreen Cudjoe, bumps out of the way, Delaney.
Go, 3, good line.
And now a short pass here. King finally gets his first start. It's been a horrendous start to his Giants career, but finally he's out there in the starting jersey.
Well, you get your big boppers back, you get your spine players back, all the people that you want. And you're starting 13, well, Huddersfield are starting to get them back now.
Here's the kick from just inside the 40, but back there to collect it was Murphy. He brings it back in field, and he's picked up and collected. So the Giants have got their first set in the bank, and that's not a bad kick chase from them.
Yeah, they've just got to make sure that they're connected. No panic from them. Every time the ball's kicked, you just chase the ball down the field. You try and do a number. You know that Saints, when they get the likes of Alex Walmsley onto the ball, is really difficult to stop. So you've got to control the first few plays.
Ball up towards the 40, played, and now comes towards Sirinen on the near side. Gets the bumpers up and earns a penalty. And that won't help the Giants' cause. Offside, says Chris Kendall.
Well, we'll try and be a bit squeaky clean. The ref was talking to Huddersfield then. Huddersfield trying to get off the line then, trying to slow them down as much as possible. They could see Curtis Sirinen lining up to carry the ball, but you've got to work with the referee.
Here's Dion Cross. New signing from Salford. And now 30 away. They'll start with an attacking opportunity here. Here's Lomax, gets it in field to Walmsley. Walmsley carries strongly in the centre of the field. Good opportunity this for Saints early on. Ball angled back towards Lomax. Lomax gets it away. Sirinen carries up towards and over the 20. First real test for the Giants then defensively. Ball now finds Knowles. Short pass to Walmsley in the 10 he goes. Cudjoe wraps him up. Keeps hold of the ball as well. Saints knocking on the door then. Clark waits at dummy half. Clark, well, not sure what the pass, it finds its way to Wellsby, puts the kick in, and the ball's not dealt with. Cross can't get it eventually. Lollahea. Well, to me, to you, Terry O'Connor, but they got it off the pitch in the end.
Yeah, well, they just get away with it, don't they? They were in real trouble then. And you know what you like about Saints is that when you put a bit of pressure on, they react to what the defence does. Jack Wellsby just spots a bit of space then. He drops it onto the boot, and look at that. Tristan Saylor putting Gagai and Tuilola here under pressure along with Dion Cross. And that's a good set. It's all the pressure that they're under now is all from giving away that penalty. Another set to contend with as well.
It is. Ball carried forward by Walmsley. Big collision as King meets him with Cudjoe. Giants defensively working hard early on here. Whitby drops the ball back on the angle. No way through for Percival.
Yeah, nice read that to cut him down. Then Percival really strong carrying the ball.
Yes, here's Knowles. He's going to take some replacing next year, isn't he, when he goes down under. 15 away. Saints coming forward again. Lomax, ball back inside and almost through Delaney, but Wolford gets him inside the 10. Clark looks left, but he's going right. Short pass to Walmsley. Walmsley tries to spin out of the Cudjoe tackle, but Cudjoe showed his strength to bring down the front row. Last one. Clark gets it away to Whitby, fires it to Wellsby. Beautiful pass, Saylor's in. What a pass that was from Wellsby. Impressive stuff from Saints, and the early pressure pays off, but that was a wonderful, wonderful pass. Saylor finishes in the corner. Saints lead by 4.
Well, they try and pull you apart with their attacking shape, don't they? And you're right, Jack Wellsby, with his 13th try assist of the year, finds that man, Tristan Saylor. That's his 11th try in all competitions this year. He's got some speed, hasn't he? He's played a number of positions, but they get the pressure, and they build the pressure from a great kick from Jack Wellsby. Jack Wellsby on the left with the boot. Jack Wellsby over on the right-hand side with that cut-out pass. Goes straight in front of Mark Percival. And he had to be pretty disciplined, Mark Percival, here, to just let the ball go across him. because he knew that Tristan Saylor had the space out wide, and the opening try, well, it took just 4 minutes for them to score. Huddersfield will be disappointed, but Saints will be delighted.
Yeah, well, Tristan Saylor has filled a number of positions in that back line, but one thing he has proven, he knows the way to the try line. As Terry said, he's 11th in all competitions, his 8th Super League try of the campaign. And the Saints, big pre-season signings. And now here's Whitby from the sideline. This is a tough start for him. 71% so far for the youngster, turned 19 last weekend. Here he comes, sends it towards the post. Looks pretty good. It's a great kick. What a start for Saints. What a start for Whitby. 6 points to 0.
Outstanding kick from the youngster from the sideline. But Saints red on. I said at the start again, they come out and they try and blast you early on. He scored 2 tries in the opening 8 minutes last week against Catalan. And just that ball, the catch and pass from Jack Wellesby, well, he absolutely nails it to that man Tristan Saylor.
Here is the restart. Big collision as Delaney batters his way forward up to the 20. So Saints get the first points of the night.
Well, I really like George Delaney starting off. Like 12 of the 15 appearances this year have been from the bench. But what he will give you, George Delaney, is some power, some aggression up front with some decent leg speed.
Yeah, with no Whitley tonight, they're putting Knowles in the back row, and that allows them to play Lees as the loose man. Here is Knowles, gets it away now. Good hands again from Whitby. Good run. Gets the Saints over the halfway line. A bit of a torrid start here for the Huddersfield Giants. Ball now again in the hands of Knowles. He's now 30 away. They've rolled downfield then. Last one.
Go, 5.
Saints with Whitby. They're going to run it. Here's Wellesby. Wellesby feigns and eventually puts the kick in. It's collected at the back by Lollahea. He's got nowhere to go. Not a bad set on the back of points from St Helens.
Yeah, well, that again, like, just look where they've turned the ball over. This is where they like to go to work on you. Some aggressive go forward in defence. The defensive reads now just eyeing the man. You've got to have a couple of players with you pushing up in support. Make it difficult for Saints, really.
Gagai is tackled. Here goes Tane Milne. He's wrapped up just short of the 30-metre line. One of several former South players as King wanders his way through.
That's a nice carry. Good footwork. Steps off his left and just manages to get another 5 metres.
Yeah, that was a good carry. Short side play. Here's Clune. Clune sends it high. They're going to ask Wellesby to catch this one, but they don't quite get any pressure on him. But they will tackle him inside the 10. And again, Huddersfield's chase is decent.
But that's it. Just maybe try and trap him a bit nearer to the sideline, which then restricts the Saints. Then you know where it's coming. You can get a bit tighter around the ruck area, really impress or press off the line.
Third. Move. Cheers, Captain.
Saints turn to work their way out of their own end of the field. Short pass, Knowles again. Oh, what a carry. Look at that post-contact meters.
Yeah, he's class acting. You don't know what he's going to do. He plays very direct. He's got a pass in his game as well. Keeps defenders honest.
He does. Here's Whitby. Finds Wellesby. Gets it away now to Percival. Percival almost through. Eventually brought down by Swift and Halsall on that far side. Danger again. And now here is Whitby. Arrows it. Oh, he arrowed it across the field. It was too low. Clune catches it. They're thinking about a counter here. And eventually they're tackled 20 out. I do have to say, having watched St Helens last week, Terry, I think Whitby is starting to really bring even more out of Wellesby's game at the minute.
Yeah, well, do you know what? You get, oh, they've made a mistake here.
They have. Now, the Huddersfield player, I think he's injured here. The ball is on the ground. And the referee will just wander across. Looks like an injury. Is it Milne, I think, that's down? And the referee's just going to stop the clock here.
Well, they tried to tip the ball onto Milne because he is powerful, isn't he? Tane Milne. He's got a decent offload in his game as well, but the referee's saying that he fumbled the ball, he loses the ball on collision. Well, you're talking about George Whitby and Jack Welsby, and it frees Jack Welsby to go back to full-back. Look, I'm no coach, but I think Jack Welsby, with the space at the back, is probably his better sort of position in the game. Everyone knows how good he is with the ball, touches the ball more than any other player in Super League, wants to be involved. Luke Robinson already now looking back into his book and seeing what adjustments he might have to make if there's a problem.
I mean, I'm not talking low, just a little bit quicker.
But George Whitby as well, what great for his development, playing alongside Johnny Lomax to help develop his game.
Harry,
yeah.
what's the hand on ball?
Well, we are going to see as Milne is up on his feet. He looks a little bit uncomfortable, but he's okay. Fingers crossed. This is the incident, and he... Oh, yeah.
Just goes in, yeah.
Huddersfield fans have seen that. They're not overly happy about that challenge.
It's the way he falls, isn't it, under some pressure. Look, he's a real powerhouse, Tarnay, a real plus for Huddersfield.
Well, here's danger. Here's Lomax, ball out wide. Here's Sailor, he's going to burn. Swift is in again. Second try for Saints. Second try for Sailor. That was too easy from the scrum. And St Helens have 2 tries in the opening 10 minutes. They lead by 10 points to 0.
Well, that right edge is absolutely lethal this year. 32 tries they've scored on the right edge, just 11 on the left. So, look, if you're doing your game plan on them and you're looking at your defence, you're going to be saying, look, they're absolutely red hot. The way that they create space, the way that they have that extra time over on the right-hand side, bit of speed, and they've got a centre who likes to play. And again, you just look at that lovely ball. The first time around was it Jack Welsby. The second time around it's Johnny Lomax. And Saints, when they get in that field position, they've got the runners, they've got the speedsters. And Huddersfield, well, they're up against it now. We're just 10 minutes on the clock.
And what about the presence of mind not to ground the ball and actually carry it nearer the post? Although I think they have deemed he did ground it over on that far side, Sailor. So it's going to be a kick again from the sideline for Whitby. But it is a brilliant start. 40 points without response last week, and they've added another 10 here. They're going along at a point a minute. Can Whitby slot over another touchline conversion? Well, the predictor says 53%. Well, he nailed one from a little bit further out, didn't he, last time?
He'll be thinking a bit more. He's certainly confident, and he just takes his time, eyeing up the sticks.
Not quite as clean a connection, and that one is just waved away. So he's 1 from 2, but Paul Wellington, St Helens would have taken this start. 2 tries in 10 minutes and a 10-0 lead.
Yeah, and what Saints have got and what they've always had is speed on the edge, and they've certainly got that with Tristan Sailor. You said before, Mark, about him played 4 appearances at full-back, 9 at standoff, looks comfortable on the wing, got some speed. Maybe a bit much put on him when he was playing in that half-back role.
Here's the restart, and here comes Saints again. Can the Giants force an error? They need something at the moment, Luke Robinson's side. As the ball carried in by Walmsley. 20 out. Clark wants a quicker play of the ball. He'll get it now. Fires it to Knowles. He gets it away to Surinen. Big run. Clue trying to hold on.
Leroy!
Here's Clark, finds Walmsley. The meters are too easy at the moment, Terry.
Yeah, just all getting over the advantage line, aren't they? Alex Walmsley, he's 170 metres a game sort of player, and again, look at this for a kick.
Swift will catch, it's right on the try line. And Saints will turn it over inside the Giants' 10.
Do you know, that's an excellent kick from the youngster. He drops it just about half a metre from the try line. If it goes anywhere near the try line, well, the winger can get his foot over the try line and then force and get those 7 tackles set that they're after.
Come on.
Look at them now trying to play their way out of trouble.
They are, and they've almost found a way through. Nice little run there from Gagai. Short side play to Milne. He's going to be wrapped up. The Giants fans are not happy here. They feel they're not getting some calls, but Saints defending hard here. Kick from inside the 30 from Clune. It's not a bad kick, but he needed a really big bounce, and he didn't get one. Here's Sailor, brings it back, and Saints will start just short of the 40-metre line.
Look, they've just got to get into this game now and start trading sets with Saints. Forget about the scoreboard. The opening 10 minutes conceding those 2 tries, but just keep and try to match Saints. Be as ferocious as they can when they carry the ball. Make sure that they don't have brain explosions on defence or giving a penalty away, which really put them under pressure from the start.
Yeah, Saints on halfway. Here goes Delaney. Seems all the Giants have done so far is defend in this match. Barely had any ball at all. And the ball now in the hands of Whitby, who finds Wellsby, gets it to Percival, tip pass for Saylor. Saylor puts the burners down, gets it away to Whitby. Couldn't find a pass, last one. But Saints looking for another score here. 5 metres away. They'll swing it across to Lomax, rolls the kick in. He's looking for Suriname. Was he taken out? The referee's going to have a look at this. I'm not so sure he was. I think he might have been looking for this one, but it is being handed upstairs. Chris Kendall wants confirmation.
No try.
Let's see.
We're just looking at the merits of a penalty try, or
will it be a penalty try?
Contact on Suriname. It'll be reviewed that anyway. It'll be reviewed if he's onside or offside.
So it's tackle 5. We have an on-field decision of a try. We are checking first, no try. We are checking firstly the onside offside because it comes from a kick. So we'll pause the ball on the foot. So the ball paused on the foot. Everybody to the left of the kicker is onside. So we'll carry on going through till this point. So Mill moves laterally across the line of Suriname. So then we can see the Lola here is in the vicinity at that point. So we'll play this full speed to establish how quick the ball goes. So it is going to be no try, a penalty for an escort.
Wow, big decision coming in here then for the Huddersfield Giants. Suriname impeded as he went towards the line, and this will have repercussions for the Giants. It won't be a penalty try, but Tane Milne is going in the bin.
Yeah, well, look, I think Saints, the way they're playing the game, they're pretty patient, aren't they? A bit of panic from Tane Milne because of where they were, running out of numbers. He knew that the kick was going to come in. It was a clever kick.
Yeah, it's going to be a penalty.
And you look at the way that Saints play the game, there is an element of risk sometimes, but I think it's clever play from them. And that man now, 10 minutes in the sin bin. It's going to be difficult here now for Huddersfield to prevent more points. At one point then I thought they were going to go for 2 points then, but I think they changed their mind.
Yeah, I think they're confident that they can come away with more than the 2 here. This is big pressure now on the Huddersfield Giants. Well, it's taken an eternity to leave the field, but he has left it. Here goes Wormsley. Big carry from him. 5 away. Here comes Saints again. And a set restart to add to the woes of the Giants. Here now is Lomax. Short to Suriname. Suriname taken to ground by Clune and Kudjoe. Clark out of dummy half is knocked to the ground, but bounces back up. We're just taking a straightener here. And he'll play it right in front of the posts.
Wait.
Saints going, trying to power their way through. The ball just short of the line. And Saints looking for this 3rd score. They will come left. Wellsby gets it away to Cross. Good defence, really good tackle. Needed to be as well from Bibby. The Giants are on the ropes. They're hanging on. Trailing by 10. Clark finds Whitby, finds Lomax, finds Percival. They're going back to that right edge again. Flick pass finds Saylor, moves it back to Matty Lees. Lees straightens things up, takes the tackle. Last one, Giants Can they manage another one here? Or will it be opened again? Crossfield kick, he's looking for Murphy, he's intercepted. Gagai, I thought, was going to go down the sideline. That's a great catch from Gagai, and the Giants survive.
Yeah, an outstanding catch, wasn't it, from him? And I thought he had the legs really to go, but he come up with an absolute belter to catch it and prevent some points. Look at that, the right hand goes up, gets it back in, sees the sideline, comes back in because he realised Cross was coming to get him.
I think he had another 5 yards and he would have gone for it. Here goes Swift now. The Giants finally hold out. Sailor with a couple of tries early in the piece here, and now they're looking for the big kick downfield. That's gone inside the 10, but this needs to hold up. And it's not going to. One roll too many. Yeah,
that's it. Just too much. It's an extra tackle now that they've got to contend with. And again, just look at Saints there, the speed of which the plays to get behind the 20, so Jack Welsby could take a quick tap. They just want to play the game at their tempo, a bit of speed around the rope. Mark Purcell with a real strong carry again.
Here we are. Wait.
Tackle made on the 40. Here goes Delaney, taken off his feet by King. 5 shy of the halfway line.
You're out, Zach.
Now they go over that halfway line. Clark leading the charge.
Get square.
They look so good at the moment, Saints. Here now is Lomax. Lomax with runners out the back. Beautiful hands, finds Cross. Cross shows it to Murphy, but doesn't give it to him. And a tackle made 20 away. Murphy ends up having a run himself. Offers the dummy. Tackled 10 away. Our Saints going back to that that right edge. Sailor. No, they're coming left. Lomax, little grubber kick for Surinan. Oh, did he get it down? Did he get it down? He thinks he did. He's picked Cudjoe's pocket there. This is all about the grounding. Is it a St Helens third try? Chris Kendall says it is. Marcus Griffiths will confirm it.
So it's tackle 4. We have an on-field decision of try. It comes from a kick again, so we will stop it on the foot. Everybody to the left of the kicker is onside. So we will fast forward it now through into the grounding. And the ball is down. I have a decision.
There you go. One look for Marcus Griffiths. And Surinam was denied a couple of minutes ago in the incident that saw Tane Mills sent to the sin bin. But he's quicker than Cudjoe, and he grounds it. And it will be a third try for Saints. A third of the season for Curtis Surinam. And this is in danger of getting away from the Giants pretty quickly. 14-0.
Yeah, well, look at that. The discipline to stay behind the man who's kicking the ball and the attitude to compete for everything. Curtis Surinam scores the third try of the year for him. On that left edge, he's so powerful, offers so much in attack. And again, you look at Johnny Lomax, he goes deep at the line, doesn't he? Pulls those defenders up, and then you spot the space behind. But it's only because he's willing to wear a tackle, Johnny Lomax, and he steers them around the field ever so well. And it was a great kick, great try from Surinam.
It was. Can Whitby add the extras then? Sends it on the way and curls it in beautifully. 16 points to 0. Giants down to 12 for the next few minutes, and Saints determined to add to their misery.
Well, they just want to turn the screw, turn the pressure there. You can see Tuilola here, who's the fullback, trying to pressure Johnny Lomax, but the kick is absolutely perfect. And like I said, the kick's only as good as the chase, and Curtis Surinam had to be disciplined to stay onside. Don't jump the gun, and he gets his rewards with the 4 points.
The Giants have got a miserable record, haven't they? Lost their last 11 against Saints, and there's no sign yet they're going to stop that run, because Saints have been near perfect in the opening quarter so far, and they lead courtesy of 3 tries.
2, George King
Greenwood,
out.
King in at the tackle. Here goes Walmsley. Well, this is like last week, isn't it? The Saints got off to a flyer in the opening exchanges against the Dragons and never took a backward step. And here they come again. Welsby finds Dion Cross. Cross is taken down by Bibby, who's making his 50th Giants appearance tonight.
finding easy meters, aren't they?
Too easy, I would say, Terry.
Yeah, the forwards are just making massive inroads every time they carry the ball. And then on the back of that, then they get to go to the air with a kick under no pressure as well.
Here's Whitby again, sends one into the skies. Swift underneath it, but look where he's going to catch it. And look, he stepped out of the tackle. Did really well to get up to the 10 there, Swift. Showed his skill, another former Saints man. But the Giants just... they're continuously having to work their way out of their own 20.
Yeah, well, you've got to credit the Saints because they're playing off the back of real good, strong go forward. They're getting a couple of penalties, then they're hunting them down. They've got a really good kicking game. And Huddersfield are finding it really difficult all the time down near their own line.
That's a big carry. That's Wilson, isn't it?
Yeah,
off the
Wilson.
bench.
Well, there you go, talking about George Delaney. What about that lad as well, Ollie Wilson? That's the punch and the impact that they need.
Nice run from Lollahea. Last one though, they're still inside the 40. Here's Rush. Got a big boot on him, sends it downfield. Wellesby catches inside the 10, but he'll get up to the 20 before he meets the claret and gold shirt. He tried to run round them, but the chase is a good one. Clune leading the charge.
He just managed to hang on to him then, didn't he, Adam Clune?
Here is Murphy.
And Huddersfield just trying it so hard. Ollie Wilson getting involved.
Here's Dion Cross. He works his way inside the 30.
Do you know what, Mark? It's those post-contact meters that they seem to be making. Huddersfield are getting up strong and they're getting up quick. Deal with Alex Walmsley on that occasion.
We've seen Saints earlier in the season. They've struggled to score points, but look at them now. They're in full flow here. Wellesby gets it away to Cross. Cross cuts in field. Inside the 30 they go. Last one here, says Chris Kendall. Here's Wellesby. Wellesby's going to send the kick out wide. Not quite enough depth on it. Swift will catch it. He must feel like he's glued to that spot just off his own try line at the minute.
Yeah, like you said before, former Saints player just wanting some decent field position, some creative spark from the inside to give him some space on the edge to have a real one-on-one with Tristan Saylor. Tyrell here now looks to use his speed to get through the gap.
Here the ball now works its way into the hands of Gagai. Nowhere for him to go.
See, but I feel sorry for Gagai then. When he gets the ball, there's nobody with him. If he gets his arm free in collision, there's nobody there. Again, Ollie Wilson going up, been met with some strong defence.
That was good from Knowles. He's been outstanding in the opening 20 minutes so far. Rush under pressure, kicks downfield. Ball will bounce. It could go out of play again. No, it doesn't. That is a kind bounce. Wellesby dummies up to the 10, but the Giants will take that. They were under the pump, and a great kick again from Rush gets them out of trouble.
Yeah, excellent kick, wasn't it, from young Kieran Rush there. Get some valuable meters that they need, but on the back of that kick now, what can they do here, Huddersfield?
They need to force an error. They just can't force an error at the moment.
They're pretty clinical, aren't they, Saints? The forwards doing a good job. Then on the back of that, Darryl Clark going on the back of young Noah Stevens.
Yeah, Stevens, one or two changes. Two youngsters coming in. Whitby finds Knowles, who finds Lomax, who gets it away to Cross. Cross now, he had Murphy back on the inside. Taken down on the 40. Last tackle. Whitby just has to reach for it. Will send it again across field. Swift comes in field to catch it. Takes it on the full. Heads up now, looking for any kind of gap in the defence, but there's not one there.
And again, if I'm going to criticise Huddersfield, it's difficult when you're at the bottom of the table and you're low on confidence. Just do the basics well. Just a bit of kick pressure on the man who's going to kick the ball. You know that young George Whitby's got the kicking duties, kicks the ball more than anybody in the Saints jersey, even though he's only played, was it 9 appearances?
There you go. Rushton and the Giants towards halfway. Hull Kicks are Rovers league leaders in front at Warrington. Sky Sports action for that one. Here now is Clune, gets it away to Gagai. Got Bibby outside him. Gagai has to take the tackle. Last one for the Giants. They finally made it over halfway with ball in hand. Now look at the pressure on Clune. Has to step out at one. Going to send it high. Oh, was he taken out after there? Referee might have a look at this one. No, he doesn't. Yes, it was with a kick pressure.
Yeah, I think that was okay, wasn't it, from Dale Cross? But that's the difference. The kick pressure that Clune felt then on that occasion.
Here's Whitby bobbing and weaving his way out of his own 10. Let's have a look at the challenge again from Cross then. Clune under pressure.
Yeah, he's okay.
Yeah, and he held him to the ground, didn't he, which is the thing they're asked to do now. But Saints rolling downfield. Offload it here. Wellesby again. Jinking. Drops it back for Stevens. Stevens with a bit of footwork. Like shaking Stevens. Oh, no, Stevens. He won't even know shaking Stevens is, will
You're
he?
showing your age now, Mark.
Here comes Saints now, up towards the halfway line.
5. Jim, baby! Adam square!
Darrell Clark enjoying the run of it. Little chip over the top. Lollahair will collect this on the full. Look, I have to say, I know they conceded the try shortly after the sin binning, but after that, the Giants have done okay, haven't they, down to 12?
Yeah, it seemed to have settled into it now.
Ball now works its way into the hands of Mill, who is back into the action. They're looking to make up for that error when he was sin bin for the challenge. The escort on Curtis Sirnan, so him sent to the bin.
They just need to be a bit quicker when they're playing the ball.
Move 10 meters.
Nice and slow from Saints, controlling the ruck, controlling the takedown.
Here's Ashton Golding, carries just short of the halfway line.
Go early. Go for.
Can the Giants get some points? Nice little run there from Rush. Last one, so Clune will be the go-to man. He's going to send it high. The Giants were the onside. Well, it's caught by Murphy, and Murphy for a second thought about going up the touchline. We know he's quick. He's going infield, just stumbles and should be tackled on the 20, but for a second it looked like he was going to go for the full money.
Well, it looked like Jacob Gaga had just gone inside just a metre or two, bit too much, and Murphy spotted that and went for it. You just look at the possession there from Saints, absolutely killing them, and 100% completion, and the meters. Wow, all them stats are heavily in favour of Saints.
If you didn't know the scoreline, those stats tell you the scoreline, don't
absolutely.
They? Here is Stevens again. Carry up towards the halfway line. Darrell Clark in at dummy half. Will get it away now. Gets it into the hands of Whitby. Whitby goes through. Support all around him. He's just got to pick his pass. Oh, he didn't pass it. He didn't. He had 5 with it. And he held on to it, Whitby. Here now the ball to Wellesby. Finds Lomax. Great pass, Sirnan. Sirnan keeps it alive. Here's Knowles. Puts a kick in for Wellesby. They're in. They won't be denied. Wellesby scores Saints' 4th of the night. Saints, sensational, scintillating form tonight. They lead by 20 points to 0. But I think young Mr. Whitby might be getting a word in his ear from his teammates.
Well, it's all about holding up defenders, isn't it? And George Whitby had 2 on the left, 2 on the right. He thought, no, I'm going to go over the man in the middle. And unfortunately, he doesn't manage to get through. And Jack Wellesby, well, he saves his blushes, doesn't he? A great kick from Morgan Knowles. But the numbers that they have, you can see the shake of the head, disappointed the youngster. George Whitby, look, his show and go, did everything ever so right. He fakes right, he fakes left. Tuilola here catches him. And like I said, Jack Wellesby just saves those blushes. And you mentioned before the likes of Morgan Knowles and the skills that he's got. You just look at that kick, nice little delicate kick from Morgan Knowles, and Jack Wellesby pushing up in support, just hunting down that loose ball. A nice kick, and again just compete for everything, Saints.
Well, Knowles is known for his brute strength, but there was a little bit of finesse on the kick, and Wellesby, all smiles, is over. 4th of the Super League campaign for him. And here is Whitby looking to add the extras from 15 out, and this to make it 22 points to 0. Strikes it clean, flags go up. This is getting messy. for Lou Robinson and the Giants.
Yeah, it is. And like we said before, like those stats when they popped up the bottom left of the corner of the screen, that everything's heavily in Saints' favour. But well, I just like the way Saints are just competing for absolutely everything. They're never beaten on a play. Everyone's an option. Everyone's turning up. And if it's not Jack Wellsby kicking the ball, Johnny Lomax, George Whitby, well, they've got a man in the back row. Morgan Knowles, quality player he is. He'll be a big loss next year.
He will. Oh, what a shot that was. Big collision goes in there.
Wow. Ollie Wilson's bringing something to the party, isn't he?
Yeah, Burgess was in there as well. Well, they need something. I mean, St Helens, as you said, 100%. They've not made an error yet.
No, they're so disciplined. Man, that's what you like about them. There's no panic. Not always looking to give the ball into a person who's in a better position, apart from when George Whitby made the break.
Yeah, well, I dare say his elder colleagues will be having a quiet word with him. Got a hat-trick last week. He fancied one here tonight in front of those Saints travelling fans. Ball now, back centre field, short pass, Delaney over the 40, but the Giants' defence has done its job. Now can they get some pressure on the kicker? Whitby gets downfield, sends it high. Lollahea should collect on the full and does. He gets the ball away. Big pass to Gagai. Gagai had to wait too long, really, for it to come to ground. He had nowhere to go.
Yeah, those floating passes, like, they might look spectacular, but they're really slow in the air, which helps the defenders. Morgan Knowles really getting off the line here now, leading the chase.
Yeah. Panthers Knights tomorrow, Sky Sports action, followed by Roosters against the Sharks, also on Sky Sports action. Doubleheader in the Super League, Big West Yorkshire Derby, Castleford Leeds, 2:25 Sky Sports Plus, followed by the Catalan Dragons without Steve McNamara at the helm, take on Wigan, 5:25 on Sky Sports action. Sunday, more NRL, Warriors Raiders, 7:05 before round 12 of the Super League concludes as Wakefield take on Salford on Sky Sports Plus. State of Origin in the men's, Queensland, New South Wales, 10 AM on Wednesday, Sky Sports action. And then it's the women's State of Origin, the third series of the series as New South Wales looking for the clean sweep. That's on Sky Sports Plus. Another 7-tackle restart. That's not helping them, is it?
No, he just overcooked that then, Kieran Rush. A couple of strong carries really from Burgess and Ollie Wilson, and on the back of that then he kicks the ball. Like I said before, big fan of him, just his 5th appearance of the year. Still trying to get to grips with it along with his teammates.
They're trying to get to grips with Parsley. The Giants failed. Here's Surinen, gets it away to Cross. Cross, can he get it away? No, he can't. They're over the halfway line though. Clark in at dummy half, will get it away now, finds Lomax, gets it away to Whitby, he finds Wellsby. Oh, he tried the ball back on the inside. Finally, it's taken 28 minutes, they've made a mistake.
Yeah, well, loose pass, and the first to react to that was Rushton. Rushton gets down. And Swift now just trying to inject a bit of speed. Around Tui Lollahea the same, again just using some footwork, some speed. Get themselves into that good ball early where they can have a real crack at the Saints' line.
Inside the 30 they go. They've not been down this end, have they, too often with ball in hand? Slow play of the ball. Here is Lollahea, turns it back for Ashton Golding. He bumps off one, but can't find an offload. 20 out from the line. Last tackle for the Giants. Can they find a kick at the end of this set? Here is Clune, takes it into the line, finds Lollahea, they move it wide to Tane Mill, but he needs an offload, he's not going to find one, and the Giants just run with it, and they die with it, 11 off the line.
Yeah, well, it's pretty easy to defend against that, and you want your Tui Lollahea and your Adam Clunes to really control the back end of the set, where you turn the ball over, and instead of just a drive, and all that. I mentioned that Tane Mill's got a real good strong offload, but it's just a simple carry. Bad end to a set, really.
Yeah, puts a good shot in there though on Murphy. Here's Parsi again. Parsi sent packing this time by Wilson.
Yeah, you're good there, you're good. Really good.
Cross with a run across the field. Tackle, 30 out from the line.
Wait.
Here now is Lomax, back to Parsi. Parsi looking to offload, gets it away to Wellesby, finds Sirenen, who gets it away to Lomax. They're enjoying it here tonight. Oh, Lomax slips. Couldn't quite keep the move going.
That's a bit better from Rushton again, and young Kieran Rush putting a bit of pressure on him.
There goes Walmsley. Last one for Saints. Ball kicked across the field. Here now is Gagai. Jacob Gagai heads off in field. He's racked up just short of the 30. Still 22 points to nil.
Well, they could just do with some points, obviously, before half-time. Just give them a bit of confidence before they come out in the second half. And they're sucking the big ones at half-time. Listen to what Luke Robinson thinks about how they should execute plays better.
Tackle made on the Giants. Can they snag some points before half-time? Here, Bibby. 5 short of the halfway line. No look tonight for the Giants. More points in the game between Warrington and Hull Kingston Rovers, and the leaders have extended their lead. Mikey Lewis with a try just before half-time. That's on Sky Sports Action right now. Rush sends it high. Wellesby collects on his line, but again, there's no instant pressure. Yes, they get him in the 10, but barring a freak error, he's under no pressure there, is he?
No, it's not, because that's how far they had to kick the ball. But what I will say is that that's where they want to be. Just catching the first tackle 10 metres from the line, instead of giving them some space where they're 20, 30 metres away from the line. Try and put a bit of pressure on them now. Try and really get off the line and really assert some energy.
We've seen a couple of players slip in that particular area of the field.
Ash Golding's made up, he slipped over there. He was picking him right out.
Oh, he's kicked downfield. Lollahea comes across. What's the bounce like? He's hoping this is going to roll dead. He's hoping, but it's not going to do. He's going to have to bring it back. And now he's going to be tackled 10 off his own line. No joy for the Giants. Scoreless last week, and they're scoreless heading into half-time here.
Well, you put that down to a really good kick, but a bit more urgency from Tuilala to get underneath that ball, because they put themselves under pressure. The extra couple of bounces of the ball just goes against them.
It does. Sometimes you've got to make your own look, and at the moment the Giants aren't quite doing that.
Do you know, and sometimes you've just got to take it upon yourself to get hold of the game by the scruff of the neck. Whether you're a forward, likes of Ollie Wilson or Burgess, just carry the ball hard like Rushton. Look, things aren't working out for us, but do my job, execute what I'm on the field to do.
Last one for Huddersfield. Here's Clue, sends it high. Murphy waits underneath it. He's taking it well. I thought for a minute he was in trouble there, Lewis Murphy. Oh, as his head rocks back in a Burgess tackle.
Well, there you go, Tyler Melton. Yeah, I said before, he's got a right whack on him. But he did manage to regather his thoughts, his composure, his footing.
Sailor plays it. And here it is again. The catch from Murphy. Saints are attacking here, attacking down the touchline. It is Murphy again who's on it, and he's racked up. He is such a threat, isn't he?
Yeah, he's so quick, isn't he? A lot of confidence.
Short pass to Parsi. He carries with intent. 20 away. Is there more damage to come to the Giants' defence? Right at the end of the half. Here is Whitby. Little step, gets it away. Wellesby bounces off one. He's kicked for Lomax. He's going to get there. Lomax, if he grounded it, it's a 5th try for Saints. And that might be game, set, match for St Helens here. Chris Kendall's going to hand this one upstairs, but he thinks Lomax has grounded it. Is it a 5th on the night for Saints?
It's tackle 5. We have an on-field decision, a try. It comes from a kick again, so we'll pause it on the foot. So we paused it on the foot. Everybody to the left of the kicker is onside. All the offside players are outside the 10, so now we can go into the grounding. So, does Lomax ground this ball? That view is blocked, so we will go to the other corner. So, does Lomax ground this ball? We will check from the back. So we're just looking at this to see whether he remains in possession of the ball. So nice and slow here if we could. So at that point, we can see that the ball is on the arm of Lomax. Keep going. Can you show me it from camera 9, please? And then camera 5, please. So if we look at it here, so nice and slow into it. So that is blocked. So we will go to camera 5. So nice and slow here. So we need to look at when Lomax first touches the ball. So keep going, keep going. At this point, Lomax has touched the ball. And then there is separation between the arm and the ball. Thank you, I have a decision.
Took some getting there, but Marcus Griffiths, I think, has come up with the right call. Johnny Lomax didn't ground the ball correctly. And a reprieve for the Huddersfield Giants. But Lomax inches away from a 5th try of the night. They were cut open again, the Giants, but this time they get the break, and it'll be a 7-tackle restart.
22 points behind. They can afford to concede another try, and but it's another shot fired. The kicking game's caused some real problems. They managed to just bounce off the tackle. Jack Wells again, just nice little kick. And Johnny Lomax just the urgency to push up, but just couldn't ground the ball. Worrying times for the Huddersfield player, but they will get a penalty.
They're going to get a chance late on in the half here, maybe to reduce the deficit.
Tyler Mill, when he carries the ball, he's so strong, so powerful. You just look to see him up the other end of the field with a one-on-one maybe. Look at the players just trying to force him, slow him down as much as possible. And just over a minute now, see what they can do.
Yeah. They got a good touch finder, so they start inside the 40. Not had any real good opportunities yet, but if they can get something here
to
narrow the deficit. Ball works its way to Golding, gets it away now to Rush. Rush is going to be tackled.
Here, Darryl, go for it.
Wolford, not seen much of him tonight. Here's Lolohea, short pass, Burgess carries with intent. Tackled, eventually brought to ground. That was a better run. The Giants knocking on the door. Couple of tackles. No, they get a set restart, but there's not enough time for them to use the full. They might not need the full 6. Need a little bit more than that, you feel, to break down this Saints defence. Wilson is tackled. Now he's fighting to play the ball. Now it'll be a penalty. And someone's in the bin. Yellow card coming out here. And it is a sin binning. St Helens. Walmsley it is, trying to slow the play down, and he'll play with 10 minutes of his time.
Absolutely, but you look at the effort from Ollie Wilson. Said before, like, he's just strong. He doesn't give up, does he? I thought Burgess come up with a really strong carry just before that, really trying to lay the foundations. Both of those players have had a real big impact. Now, just maybe the clock's going to go against them.
Well, I know 2 points is no good to them, but it's a gimme 2 points up for one play. Well, they're going to run it. They're going to get one set up and then they're going to have to shift it.
Out, Darrell, out now!
This is it for the Giants. Last chance in the first half. They're going to move it to Clune, gets it away to Rush. They're going through the hands, miss out pass. But sadly it missed out Swift, the man it was aimed at. He shakes his head. A really frustrating first 40 minutes for the Huddersfield Giants. And that will come to a conclusion. But Saints on top inside the opening 4 minutes. Tristan Saylor with the first of a double inside the opening 10 minutes. Then Curtis Sirinen was denied. Tane Milne saw yellow. He was sent to the bin. Sirinen scored. Wellesley added an extra try. And at the break, it is the Huddersfield Giants nil. St Helens 22. We'll have all the reaction here at the John Smith Stadium. And a big 40 minutes needed for the Huddersfield Giants. They trail by 22 points to 0. But Alex Walmsley is in the bin for the opening 10 minutes of the second half. Well, the young and old here enjoying their rugby league, or they might not be enjoying it so much if the Huddersfield Giants fans at the moment. We might have found the reason for Luke Robinson's bad luck. The black cat here at the home of the Terriers. It's a good job Huddersfield Town and all. Could be a rough night for the cat as well.
Well, they'll be hoping that black cat leaves the stadium pretty quick, won't they? The start of this second half, and it's a massive 10 minutes for the Giants and their fans. I do believe that when they played direct, like I said at half-time, super impressed with Wilson and Burgess, the way that they took the game to the big forwards of Saints, and they just need to fix that ruck up, keep the game simple. You know what I mean? I can't remember them really, Matt, having many cracks at Saints' line. Like, they always seem to be the majority of the game seem to be played down in front of their try line, but let's see what the opening 10 minutes brings here.
It'll be interesting how St Helens approach this. Down to 12, Walmsley in the bin for that professional foul right at the end of the first 40 minutes.
Look, you'd be expecting a response from Huddersfield at the start of this. Look, the scoreboard looks as though it's against them. You've got one man down. For Saints, they've just got to get through the next 10 minutes for Alex Walmsley is like reintroduced, but it's not in their DNA just to do 5 drives and a kick.
Oh, they've not played like that tonight, have they? Here's Parsi. Now Clark
Hold Harry
in at dummy half. Here's Noah Stevens, again a slip. A few of those tonight. Nice one, they're up to the 40, they'll get it away here. Wellesby's going to float it downfield, it'll bounce towards Lollahea, that left knee heavily bandaged, he'll bring it back up to the 30-metre line, he's wrapped up. And the Giants have their first use of the ball in the second half.
Well, for Huddersfield now, everyone, it's got to be an option here. Tane Milne trying to come up and use his strength and his power to get through a solid-looking defensive Saints line. And Gagai now and just hits and spins, and 2 decent carries that just gets him up to near halfway. If they can get through this set, they can pressure the line with a decent kick.
He's carried it well, Gagai, as has Wilson. He's made an impact off the bench. He's made things happen. Wolford wants the ball played. They're going short side with Rush. Little pass gets it away on the near side here. They're advancing forward. That's Rushton who's going to be wrapped up. 22 away. Wolford, last one. He's going short side himself. He's got to find a play. He's got to find a play. He dumps it out the back. Picked up here by Ashton Golding. But the referee, I think, has deemed that the Giants impeded Saylor as he went to smother the danger. And the Saints get a very easy out at the start of the second half.
Zach Wolford in his 8th appearance for the club, like, he's asking some questions and he's getting out from dummy half. I don't know whether that's probably the play. He goes on his own on the last play, then he panics, he tries to get the ball away. Unfortunately now, on the back of that and the panic, they give a penalty away, and you look now from maybe pressing on Saints' line defensively, they're defending in their own line yet again, all down to a simple error.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Okay, go.
It's the ball now with Percival. He will bring it forward.
One. Out now, Ash! Wait, Zach. Hold Tom.
Up towards and over the halfway line. So St Helens on the front foot despite the fact that they are a player down at the moment.
Movement, sack, back foot. Hold, hold. Go, 2, good mate, 2.
Ball now works its way to Parsi. He rumbles forward.
Third.
He's tackled 30 away.
Stay square. Right. Go, 3.
They'll play the ball now. Here's Whitby. Whitby with a step, gets it away. Wellsby had a juggle, gets it to Percival. Percival almost through the line. Look at that again. The post-contact meters, they're 10 away. Saints might be a player down, but they're on the attack again, looking to add to their try tally. Here's Whitby, rolls the kick through. There's a coming together on the line. It wasn't coming together, and Lollahea will bring it out. He's inside the 10. I think but for that coming together, Saints were in there.
Yeah, well, look, they spook you, don't they? The attacking shape is really good, and I think George Whitby goes at the line. He keeps those defenders honest before he drops the ball onto the boot. Gets a decent kick away to Lollahea, there to save the day.
The Giants would have been hoping to use this opening 10 minutes to their advantage. 4 of them have gone already, and they're inside their own half. Not scored in the last game and a half, the Huddersfield Giants. Can they get some points second half? Here now is Clune, offers the dummy, takes it up to the halfway line. Last one. Can the Giants find something with the kick? They'll go to Rush. No, they go to Lollahea. Oh, sends it high. There's no depth on the kick. They're going to let this bounce. It'll bounce in field, and it's a chance now for Wolford. Oh, as he went to kick it, he got cleaned out. It's intercepted by Whitby. How's your luck, Zach Wolford?
Lewis Murphy, what about that? They're known for scoring tries, wingers, but what about that, the big shot?
Surrender!
He gets hold of the ball, he's just looking across the field to kick it. All of a sudden he gets leathered.
Good. Oh, nice offload. Here's Clark, advances forward, more meanders over the halfway line for St Helens. They're finding the meters easy to come by.
Wait. Go. I need
Play it now. Here goes Sirinen. Gets it away. To Parsi.
The referee thinks it's a line ball at best.
Well, they've called for a few of the Giants fans around us here. Here goes Sirinen. Drives it in up towards the 20. Saints looking to add some misery to the Huddersfield fan base here in the second half. Short pass, Stevens gets the fend out, wrapped up 15 away. Ball now to Clark. He's going towards Lomax. Lomax short pass to Sirinen. Can't get the pass away. Great shot from Clune.
Yeah, good tackle, wasn't it? Just to prevent him, Clune and Bibby. And then you look at Huddersfield there, and they put themselves under pressure. Those little 1%ers that you want, Matt. Tuilola here not getting the distance on the kick. Gives the ball to Saints. Good shot in defence from Lewis Murphy.
Oh, real scruffy play of the ball there. Swift will get it. Again, he's inside his own 20. Makes a decent carry, gets him up towards the 20-metre line. Ball on this near side. Saints defending. Halsall wrapped up. Ball into the hands now of Ashton Golding. Good post-contact meters from him. Couple of tackles left in the set for the Giants. They're defending really narrowly, St Helens, but Huddersfield are not offering any width at the moment. Good carry there from Burgess. Plays it on halfway. Here's Clune. He's going to kick. Oh, it's as good as a pass for Murphy. He'll pick it up, brings it back.
Again, though, it's a poor end to the set, isn't it? Like, Murphy doesn't have to do anything to get the ball on the ground, kick the ball over the top of him, force him into the corner.
Wellsby gets it away. Taken into contact here by Dion Cross. Saints being good up front, finding meters easy to come by. Here's Lomax, just found that Russian stepped into his territory there, couldn't get the pass away. He'll play it on halfway. Now they're in the middle of the field. Knowles finds Parsi. Parsi tries to get over the top of Wilson, who's having none of it. Tight start to the second half here. So set restart. Disastrous for the Giants. 6 more tackles.
Especially when it was on the 4th play as well.
Ball now with Whitby. Whitby short to Knowles. Knowles tries to punch a hole through the middle. He's wrapped up. The Giants on the back foot again here. Clark going for the glory. Up to the line, they're going to hold him up. Are they going to take him in goal? They will. And he'll have to play it 10 out from the line.
Still a few more tackles in the bag for Saints. Huddersfield now just have to make sure that they focus on what's in front of them, turn up for each other.
Here now is the ball to Whitby, finds Lomax, body's in motion. Wellsby gets, oh, there's a slip there. And a good shot goes in on cross from Milne. And he'll play it 10 out. All now here with Lomax, bouncing his way out, gets the pass away to Curtis Sirinen. Sirinen thought about the offload, hangs on, last one. Speaking of hanging on, the Giants are doing just that. Little grubber kick collected by Aston Golding. Uses experience as a former fullback to come up with the ball.
Yeah, do you know what? Great read, wasn't it? Get himself in a position to catch the ball. If that ball goes over, bounces over the top of Golding, it's a certain try with Whitby and Jack Wellsby just sniffing around the middle of the field, loitering with some real intent.
Now there's a chance down the short side. Alex Walmsley is poised to come back on. He'll be on, I think. Oh, they're in touch. They've got him in touch here. Now what's Chris Kendall? He's going to say it's a penalty.
Yeah. Well, the tackle was called, it was complete. I thought that he'd call him and he gives it. Well, his roles reversed there. Adam Swift just tipping the ball on the outside to the back row of Harry Rushton, who gets forced towards the sideline. You could see the flag goes up, his head's on the line, and the ref says no, the tackle was already called.
Well, they were that close to the sideline, they couldn't really get any metres out of the kick, so they'll have to just tap it and go here. Still inside their own half. 10 gone, we're back to 13 against 13. Here's Burgess hunting up the middle. Can the Giants start the comeback here? Here's Clune, gets it away now. Tackle is made. 35 out from the line. Ball now goes back across field. Clune gets it away. Here now on the angle is Rushton. Rushton breaks the line. Rushton still going, bouncing off tackles. Tackle 15 out. This is the best we've seen from the Giants. Can they put some points on the board now? Moving the ball back in field. 6 again called for the Giants. So they get a full set of the line here. Can they finally post some points? Ball down to Clune, short to Burgess. Burgess bending the line. Strong carry from Burgess. He's turned away a metre out. Wolford in at dummy half. Giants move it to Clune. Clune goes short to Bibby. No room at the end for him. 10 out. Halfway through the set. Wolford finds Clune. Clune pops it up for Hewitt. Hewitt tackled. Food and drink that for the Saints defence. Wolford now uses the decoy, gets it away to Rush, finds Lollahere. Lollahere's in! Is he? Oh, he's been held up. He's been held up. I don't think he got this down. Chris Kendall's going to hand this one upstairs. But is this a great save? And Lollahere, I think, knows he hasn't scored. He's walked back to the 10-metre line.
It's tackle 4. We have an on-field decision of no try. We're looking at grounding, so we're seeing if Lollahere gets the ball on the ground. So at that point, we've seen that the ball is up, and then we lose the view of the ball, but it remains high. We will take a different angle. This one will be the one. So the ball is high at that point. It's still high, we still have a view of the ball, there are hands and arms under it, we then lose it, but we'll just run it through till the end, so we lose the ball. This is going to help. So he's on his back, the ball is up, the ball is up, the ball remains up. I have a decision.
Great defence from St Helens. Well, I think the fact that Lollahere walked back to the 10-metre line, Terry said he knew it wasn't a try.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if he was looking to give the video ref any information. Well, they certainly did that then. But great defence, wasn't it, from Alex Walmsley, fresh on the field from his sin bin. And he prevents a try along with young George Whitby.
Well, this is the last one. Rush is going to send it high. There's not a lot of depth on the kick. Then it's dropped, though. Is it play on? It is play on. Saints come back with it. I thought they may have knocked on there, but they didn't. And Moses and Bay into the action. He collects the ball. And Saints have it 10 off their own line.
Well, they're getting an opportunity, Huddersfield. I do genuinely believe, because the forwards seem to be running harder. And, like, in that set, Tom Burgess made some big carries towards the centre field. And again, just talking about laying a platform for them.
Yeah, look at that. Look at the difference in carries, the difference in metres, and the difference in post-contact.
Yeah, absolutely. Saints offloading the ball more as well. And a lot of the time that you manage to offload the ball, because you run hard, you're bouncing the defenders backwards, and you're getting your arm free.
Oh, there's a swing and a miss there from Halsall. Last one. And Bay needs to find a pass. Does. Wellesby finds a kick. And the Giants retreat back inside their own 10. Gagai gets a nice bounce. He'll bring it forward. He bumps off one. I've been impressed with him tonight. He's tried really hard.
He's got good footwork. Both him and Tane Mill caused some real problems. You feel sorry for the back three in this game, where the amount of times they've been having to bring the ball back away. And you see that Swift just managed, was he looking for the offload maybe, pulls it back in and nobody's there.
Yeah, ball now works its way back in field. Here now go the Giants, 35 out from the line. Their own line, though. Burgess passes, finds Clune, digs into the line, finds Lollahare. Lollahare gets it to Milne. Milne over halfway. They're starting at least to find a bit of shape, Huddersfield, but they've still not broken through this defence. Lollahare, loose cannon, gets it away. Clune nowhere to go. Tackle made on the last.
Mark George, back foot. Go, foul.
Ball to Rush. Rush sends it high. This is going to be allowed to bounce by, and it bounces kindly to Halsall. Halsall wants to get a kick away. He loops it up to Ashton Golding, fires it back to Lollahare. It's off the cuff. This is where Lollahare can exceed. Gets it away, finds Clune, dumps it back to Ashton Golding. Ashton Golding puts the kick in. It's a decent kick. It's not going to run dead. Oh, it did. It did. Just an inch too long. Who cut the grass this morning?
Yeah, just too much on that. But you know what, don't they look better? Wow, they're going to go away, Jack Wellesby.
Wellesby's away, he's got support, he's inside, he's not going to need it. Wellesby goes 80 metres. Saints score again. The kick an inch too far at one end. And Wellesby races the length of the John Smiths. And St Helens' dominance over the Giants will continue. 26 points to 0.
We'll say it so many times, don't we, about this Saints side. The transition to switch from defence to attack and play the game at some speed. You think all of a sudden that Ash goal is going to maybe force another set of 6. Unfortunately, there's just too much on it. And Jack Wellesby gets hold of the ball and manages to go from one end of the field to the other, to the delight of those travelling Saints fans. And it's took him 14 minutes to score. Look at that. Nerves of steel from Tristan Saylor. Taps the ball, goes quickly, gives the ball to Jack Wellesby, and Jack Wellesby just with a big see you later to Harry Rushton, and no one can get anywhere near him to prevent the fullback from scoring. It's a cruel game at times, isn't it? But Saints, well, their reaction to play the ball as quick as they can, tap it and go. Don't worry about what the opposition's doing, worry about what you're doing. And that's an easy 6 points, well, 4 points, maybe 6 points here for Saints.
Yeah, Whitby out 18 in from touch right hand side, looking to add his full successful conversion. Takes his time and he strikes it through the middle. It is another 2, 28 points to 0. St Helens lead the Huddersfield Giants. Jack Wellesby, 2 tries for him, and the Saints fans sing his name loud and proud.
Do you know, I know they've still got 25 minutes to go in this game, but that might just put the brakes on Huddersfield. I know they had especially when they were moving the ball over to the right side of the court, they've definitely got a couple of tries in this game. The way they finished in the first half, the way they started in the second half. Playing with a bit more confidence.
One. Oh no! Sam, you're at me. Wait. Go on. Sam, you're off! Sam!
All coming forward with Saints. The Giants playing for pride now.
Ball on foot, not ball line. Wait, go.
Over 130 minutes without a pot. I tell you what, Saints had gone out the back there. They had the numbers, didn't they? They went to Suriname instead.
Adam off the ball!
Lays down the line. His old man's 60th birthday today. Did you send him a card, Terry?
No. Good old legend of the game, wasn't he? Paul Sinan, let me tell you, I was making my way in the game and I played against him. Wow. I tell you what.
What about this for a kick? What about this for a kick? Oh, they've kept it in, but was he in touch, the Giants player? No, he wasn't. Gagai saves the day over on that far side.
It's just a big play from Gagai, isn't it? That was an enormous kick, a big boot from him.
Well, let's have a look at this. This looked pretty close from our side, but oh, great work. Great work, Gagai. And now a penalty for the Giants.
Yeah, look at that. The effort from Gagai to save that, get back in the field. Now they get a penalty on the back of it. There's little players like that that really benefit your side. And it's the extra effort from Gagai probably helps them get this penalty to Ilola here. Just too much in there from Alex Walmsley.
That's a great touch finder as well. They're up to halfway here, the Giants. Another opportunity for them. 28 points to 0. Saints lead here. It's over a quarter of the game to go. Another set restart for the Giants. Finally starting to get some breaks. As King wrapped up.
Remember what happened first half, boys?
Here now is Kudjo inside the 30. The Giants, they just love a try. They've not scored one for nearly 2 games. Short side play, here's Rush. Rush takes on Whitby, 2 youngsters going at it. Whitby makes the tackle on his opposite number. And the Giants now find Kudjo, gets it away to Clune. Clune finds Lola Hare. Lola Hare gets it away. Bibi! 50th appearance for the Giants, and he's over. Finally, Huddersfield are on the board. Jake Bibi is over to score. Joy at last for the Giants. Might only be a consolation, but they're on the board. Although there's a challenge here. I think the Giants are challenging this, but I'm not sure why. Let's find out.
Saint Helens are challenging the decision to try claiming there was an obstruction. So we will go here. So that is okay. So here, Hewitt is running at space. Because that angle doesn't help us. So we're looking to see whether there's an obstruction. So he's running at space. We're gonna have to take it from the wide. So he's running at space, and he isn't materially disadvantaged. So we can keep going till this point. Milne's running an inside shoulder on the St Helens player, so we can carry on going at this point. There is no obstruction. That was a defensive decision. And then we can go through to the grounding. And the ball is grounded. I have a decision.
Challenge unsuccessful for Saints, so the try will stand, and finally the Giants will get confirmation of their first 4-pointer. Bibi with a try, and the Giants are on the board.
Yeah, the defensive read from Saints. They were just beaten, weren't they? Again, just the effort, the execution of those dummy runners just caused the defenders a few problems, really. And Jay Bibi, like I said, on his 50th Giants appearance, Played the last 3 in the back row.
Not been good on the captain's challenges so far, Saints. Here's a tough kick from the sideline. Ololahea, who sends it towards the post. It's waved away, and it remains Giants 4, St Helens 28. With a nice finish from Bibby.
Well, the big thing for Huddersfield, we're just getting some points on the board. And the attacking shape that they got, all the key players had hold of the ball. Nice finish from Jake Bibby to go in and away. And every ball from Cudjoe, Clune and Tuilola here, right on the money in front, which enabled that man then to pick his line and score some points.
Restart from Sailor. Can the Giants get on a roll then? Here they go now with King. Signed in the off-season from Hull Kingston Rovers, but got a really bad ankle injury in training, and this is his first start in round 12.
Yeah, it's set him back. Been really unlucky. Like, you look at the playing roster for Luke Robinson. They've not had players just missing 1 and 2 weeks. They've been out for 6 and 7 weeks. And it really has hurt them to build any consistency with those spine players and with some of the bigger forwards as well that have missed.
There goes King again. Yeah, up towards the 40 they go. Not quite at the pace on the set they would have wanted yet. Now they work it to Clune. Clune gets it away to Milne. Milne finds a pass out on the far side to the try scorer Bibby. He's wrapped up. They need a decent kick. Here's Rush to send it high. Now this could be a contest. Wellesby's coming into traffic, collects it on the full. What a catch.
Well, do you know, that's a player that's on top of his game, isn't it? So confident, take that spiraling kick in the air at pace, didn't take his eyes off it.
Surrender.
Ball up towards the 30.
Wait here. Wait, Zach. Go to.
More points over in the other game tonight in the Super League. League leaders Hull Kingston Rovers in front of Warrington, 24 points to 12, live on Sky Sports Action right now. Here's St Helens who are on top, and now they're looking to work their way forward with Whitby. Finds Wellesby, short pass, finds Percival. Percival gets to an edge. Percival goes forward. Halsall brings him down inside the 20. Saints back on the attack, but this is the last one. Percival really slowly gets to his feet. Maybe just picked up a bump there. Here now is Whitby. Whitby floats the kick out wide. They're looking to isolate. Ball's on the ground, and it's hacked forward, but who knocked it on? I think it... Is it a Giants knock on? I think it could be.
I think was it Gagai that knocks the ball on? Was it?
Looked that way, didn't it? And a chance now for Saints. They have got a challenge if they wish to use it. And I think they are going to challenge this.
So we've got a captain's challenge. Huddersfield are challenging the decision of a knock-on. So we'll first go onside, offside, because it comes from a kick. So we'll pause the ball on the foot. Everybody to the left is onside. So we'll now go into the contest. So both players are competing for the ball. The question is, who gets there first? So they're both going up towards the ball. So whose hand touches that? This could help us. So the ball touches the Huddersfield player's hands with the strapping on, so with the right hand of the Huddersfield player. Then we need to look at what direction it travels in relation to the ground. So we can see there it's hit the Huddersfield player's hand. And then we're just looking at relation to the ground, what way it goes. And then it goes forwards in relation to the ground. I have a decision.
So challenge is lost. Now I've got a question for you there, Terry, because if they had won the challenge, Huddersfield then kicked the ball out of play, didn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, they did. But you know
So
what?
it would have been St Helens ball anyway, wouldn't it, I think? I think that's how it works, I'm not sure. Mark Percival is leaving the field, so I think this is going to be a big moment for the youngster here. I think Owen Dagnall is making his way on for his Super League debut. So congratulations to him, 19 years of age, played in the cup match earlier in the season against West Hull, but now he's in Super League action for the Saints. Percival limps off, did pick up a bit of a bump, but it's a good chance, I guess, at 28-4 up to get Dagnall onto the field. Be a huge moment for him, won't it?
Yeah, quality player. Another one off the conveyor belt, Holt Farmer Hornets in Widnes. Owen Dagnall, 18th man last week. Now he gets it to go up against the Giants here, and the ball could be coming out to him.
Oh, it could have been, but good work at Marker there.
Just that little nudge in the chest, just enough.
Wrapped up and by. Here is Wellesby. Wellesby just standing, pondering, looking, gets it away now to Sirinen, dumps it back to Wormsley. Route 1 Wormsley powers his way to the posts. Last one for Saints. Which way are they going? They're going to the left. Here is Lomax, quick hands, Wellesby, beautiful, beautiful, and it's a great try, Murphy. Flying finish, Saints in again. Brilliant hands, wonderful finish. Saints score again, they lead by 32 points to 4.
Well, Lewis Murphy gets the reward, doesn't he, for putting pressure on Jacob Gagai, which forced the error, which then led to this field position. And Murphy, well, he certainly does know how to finish. Centre field, the ball goes out wide. Nice little hands yet again from both Johnny Lomax and Jack Wellesby, and creates that 2-on-1 outside for Dion Cross just to pull the winger in Gagai, and the flying finish from Murphy. Like I said, all those little efforts, that's your hard reward. It all comes about from his effort to put Gagai under some pressure, and they get that ball back, and you could see the desperation, the frustration from Clune in the background.
8th appearance for Saints, and that's his 5th try. 4th of the Super League campaign. Shot to prominence at Wakefield, of course. Then suffered a nasty injury and went down to Australia, but never really cracked it there. He's back in Super League and he's a Saints player. And with finishes like that, he'll score plenty of tries in the Red V. As Whitby just making some amendments to the signage on the far side. He's 80%. This is a tough one, but he kicked one from that touchline in the first half down the other end of the field. What does the probability tell us? 52%. He sends it on the way. He's got it. Everything he touches at the moment turns to gold. George Whitby, another 2 points. Saints lead by 28 points.
You know, he doesn't seem to be fazed by much, does he? And again, it's just the quick hands and the speedsters out wide get hold of the ball. And Lewis Murphy, he gets on the back of some really nice, neat passes, and Clune just couldn't get hold. He goes short here now.
They do, and they've got it. And for everyone shouting, they lead by 30 now, St Helens, on the back of that kick. My bad. Ball with the Giants then. They've got it back. What can they do with it? We're inside the final 15. The Giants are going to remain with just one win to their name. This Saints hoodoo here. They've not beat St Helens here in Huddersfield since 2017. That is some run, isn't it?
Yeah, incredible.
Here's Cudjoe. Nice pass, but Clune did well to hang on as Whitby tried to pick it off, but couldn't get there. Wolford to King, finds Lollahea. Lollahea comes back to Cudjoe. Whitby's all over him, and they'll wrap him up on the 20-metre line. Can't knock him to the ground, though. Cudjoe fights his ground. He might be told to go back and play it here. There's a bit of pushing and shoving. Morgan Knowles says, all right, if you fancy it, Leroy.
Well, both of them are not one to back down, neither one of them. Leroy Cudjoe, and he's a crowd favourite, isn't he, here?
Yeah.
The one club man.
There he is. Sensational career. Here goes Burgess again.
He's been really good.
No support, though. He got through the line. Nobody to give it to. Last one. They're going short side with Rush. Short pass to Rushton. Rushton's going to be wrapped up, and Saints survive again.
And again, it's okay just having a little crack. You can see a lot of players, Kane Rush, just turning around saying that, look, this is what I want. You've got to react to what your halves want, what your hooker does. And there's a number of times in this game when the sets just haven't been quite good enough, neat enough at the back end.
There is Dagnall with his first carry as a Super League player. Tristan Saylor, a couple of early tries for him. Got Saints on their way, and they're closing in on a victory that will take them fourth in the table as well. So for all the doom and gloom and talk of pressure on Paul Wellens, they're going to end the night in the top four.
It's incredible, isn't it? Like I said, the third highest point scorers in the competition. Defensively, they've been rock solid.
Oh, there's an error. There's an error. Well, there was a player in the ruck, but that's the responsibility of Moses and Bay to pick that up cleanly. Well, just a couple of errors late on here.
Yeah, I'll be disappointed. Moses then by, I think he was a bit distracted by Alex Walmsley maybe losing his shorts. Walmsley playing the ball quick. Moses by just can't quite get hold of it.
5 seconds, let's go. Shot clock off. Head in, stay on ball in.
Scrum then for the Giants. There's a push at the scrum. That ball came out of the side. Referee, oh, it's a knock-on for Huddersfield.
Yeah, well, there you go. It's just not been their night, has it? They were setting up on the right-hand side then to go with Tyner Mill and Gagai. They overloaded the left-hand side, created a bit of space on the right. Can't pick the ball up cleanly from the scrum, though.
A push in the scrum, Terry. Did I see a tear in your eye there?
Well, it goes back quite a few years, that, doesn't it? Normally, you lean on. Now there's no pushing, there's no striking.
The good old days, Terry.
When the steam was coming off the scrum in the winter.
Let's go, back down.
Just over 10 to go. Saints have a scrum here. Oh, they're going to kick early here. They're going to kick early. They're setting Murphy in behind Gagai. It could be a 40-20. Oh, Gagai's dropped it. I think Murphy might have knocked this on. And the referee, what decision is he giving here, Chris Kendall?
To play the ball. Where do you want it?
Well, I'm thinking that Gagai, when he gets hold of this ball, is he in touch?
He is, yeah. Yes, he was.
He come up with a wonder play before, didn't he? Managed to get the ball back in the field. And probably a bit of panic set in from him.
He was lucky there that well, he was in touch anyway, so even if Murphy had caught it, it wouldn't have been a try, but he got a bit fortunate there.
Let's go.
There goes Walmsley, looking to put the icing on the cake. They got 40 last week. Can they get 40 again this week? Oh, that was a scruffy play of the ball. They'll get it away to Knowles. He meets Cudjoe again. Again, they're messing about down at the ruck area. Here goes Whitby. Oh, beautiful pass, Dagnall. Can he get to the line? Would have been a debut try. His heart would have been in his mouth there, but he's tackled a couple of metres away. Ball back in field to Wellsby, whose handling has been sensational. Here they go across the field now. Short pass, Sirenen's in. Sirenen scores. It's a double for him. And there are a few boos around the John Smiths here. Saints are running riot. Sirenen with a double. And it's job done for Saints. They are going fourth in the Super League.
Yeah, well, there's just how many options that they've got, isn't it? The number of tries that they've scored today, with the man who's passing the ball, the accuracy that they've got when they shift the ball with real purpose. And the Huddersfield fans now, well, disappointed in what they've seen. They've showed glimpses in the game, but just not been able to string the full performance together. I said about them last week against Hull KR, they were courageous for 60 minutes. The big kick down the field. Gagai does absolutely everything to try and keep the ball back in. Unfortunately, his foot was on the sideline. Saints get hold of the ball. A number of touches Jack Wellsby has come up with this game. And again, the youngster, George Whitby, goes at the line, along with Morgan Knowles. which creates some space over on the left-hand side. And Curtis Sirenan, well, that's his reward. He's been substituted for scoring.
Yeah. He wanted a hat-trick. Whitby adds the extras. And this, another chastening night for the Huddersfield Giants.
Well, the second week in a row that Saints have managed to post 40 points. And again, you just look at the line from Curtis Sirenan back against the grain. Does a decent job, and just now the smiles come out from him and Darryl Clark. They go short again here, Huddersfield.
They will. Halsall bats it back, but they can't take it in. It's just going from bad to worse for Huddersfield at the moment.
Difficult. You know, you've been in a situation as a player like this. You're desperate to get hold of the ball. You're desperate to try and do something. And it seems like the more you try, the more you make mistakes. And the answers are within that group on the field now. I've said that they've been missing like the likes of Adam Clune, Tyrell here and Zach Wolford, but all those players now back on the field.
Yeah, I was looking earlier. Yes, there are a couple of absentees still for the Giants, but a lot of their key men are now back, and injuries I don't think can no longer be used as an excuse.
Well, look, the only thing you can say is maybe that they've not managed to get the connections.
OKR 30-12 up. The leaders extending their lead. That's over on Sky Sports Action. There's only a couple of minutes left there.
And the dress rehearsal for the Challenge Cup final as well in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, here goes Saylor, looping round, needs to stay in the field of play, and he will do. Well, he had a busy opening 10 minutes, Tristan Saylor. We'll get Terry's player of the match in a short while. Here goes Saints again, looking for more points here. Here goes Whitby, gets it away. Here's Welsby. Welsby slices through. And Jack Welsby has a hat-trick for St Helens, who are going through the gears now. And they are putting Huddersfield to the sword.
Well, Huddersfield now have got no answers, have they? Jack Welsby, just too much speed, too much vision. Manages to go over for another 4 points for Saints, who've been really dominant in this game. And you look at the scoreboard and you see the likes of Jack Welsby getting a right grip of this game. Like you said, scored a hat-trick. And George Whitby, well, he might only be a youngster, but he looks like he's an old head. He's not bothered about going to the line and maybe worrying the tackle and getting some attention. But giving the ball to that man, once he's fixed those defenders, once he's squared them up and created space, an easy kick for him now. And Jack Welsby, he's talked about man of the match and who's it going to be? Well, Jack Welsby, he's created a few in this game, he scored a hat-trick. It's got to be Jack Welsby as man of the match.
Okay, here is Whitby then. Should be another two, and it is. These are tough times for Luke Robinson and the Huddersfield Giants, but they are very pleased. The Saints travelling public, plenty of them have made the trip over here, and they will be going home with a big smile on their face. Jack Welsby, once again at the heart of it. What a competitor he is, what a player he is. Surely, if he stays fit, Terry, he's an absolute lock-in for the Ashes.
Well, absolutely. Jack Welsby's incredible player. George, you can see George Delaney again just returning the ball with so much interest. Look, if you're the likes of Jack Welsby, or you're a George Whitby or a Johnny Lomax, you love playing behind these forwards. They're so aggressive the way that they carry the ball. It manages, or it enables the hookers to manage the game, take the game, ask some questions from dummy half.
Over halfway they come again. They're looking to move for another one, you know.
But again,
they're not easy enough, are they?
You just look how strong, how aggressive they are when they carry up the ball.
That did look a forward pass. They get away with one. Saints last one. Inside the 40 they go. By gets it to Lomax, finds Wellesby again. No easing up here. Murphy down the sideline, bounces back in. Needs to find a pass. He does find a pass. Wellesby, did he run behind his own teammates? No, it's play on. Here's Whitby, gets it away on the near side. Here's Matty Lees. Lees going for the line. Lees still going for the line. And he's tackled just short.
What about his
what an
footwork?
effort, what a move.
What about his footwork from Matty Lees?
I need Wolford to get back on side. I need Jack back.
Outstanding. Normally a crash bang wallop. Just look at the weaving run. He's been looking at the outside backs doing it.
Well, Mark Percival went off injured about 10 minutes ago. I thought that was him then. The sidestepping.
Stand! Don't go
Well,
away.
if you can't play when you're 46-4 in front, when can you play? Tough times here, you know. And look, things are not going to get any easier anytime soon for the Giants. Lee and Wigan are here in the next 2 home games. Then Warrington, Catalans and Castleford away. So you wonder, look, if ever a picture told a story, Luke Robinson, nice hands here. Milne gets it away. Finds Gagai, who slips. And this is the last one. A really disappointing night. And now they've turned it over.
Yeah, do you know, I feel for Luke Robinson, I feel for Andy Kelly, director of rugby. Like, there wasn't much money this year to bring in a team that really they wanted to bring in and implement the game plan that they wanted. Maybe it was a year or 2 away before that they can really do that. And Luke Robinson was given the job. There wasn't much money left to spend.
Risky pass. Delaney didn't thank his teammate for that one. That was a second-class stamp on that one. It took a while to get there. Here now the ball with Walmsley. Walmsley. I'll tell you what, he needs to get some new elastic in his shorts, Terry. That is a fact.
Maybe he's lost too much weight.
Maybe. Maybe he's got a pair of heels. Here goes the kick high down the far side. Is it collected? It is by Gagai, and he's away. Momentarily, I think he's been one of Huddersfield's best tonight.
Do you know, they've really had a dig in Montana Mill over on the right-hand side. Been really difficult for them. I think one of the big parts that they need to improve on is that the end of sets and what they do with the ball. A number of times they've really let Saints off the hook.
Oh, risky pass. Swift's not had a decent pass all night, has he?
No, he's not had any quick play. The ball's to come off. Every time he's caught the ball, he's been under a bit of pressure.
No, he's not.
Yeah, been absolutely manhandled.
Look at this. They're trying. Saints, there's 20 seconds left. The referee has stopped the clock, and they're winning by 46 points to 4, and they're sprinting.
It's like the Saints of ball. It's like the Saints of ball. That's exactly what Saints were like years ago. They were ruthless. They wanted to score points, as many as they could.
10 seconds, let's go.
Well, it's the Saints fans whose song is filling the air here in a chilly night in West Yorkshire. Here is Saylor, gets it away to Wellesby. Wellesby puts the brakes on, finds Saylor. There's some showboating going on. Little kick. Will they get the bounce? No, they didn't. That would have been sensational. Lollahea fancies a run. He's got nowhere to go. He'll go in a touch. And it's game over. The Huddersfield Giants were on the back foot, and once again there are boos from the Huddersfield Giants fans here at the John Smiths. They're not happy with what's been served up at the moment, and that will bring with it its own questions here at the Giants. But tonight was all about Saints. Whitby again at the heart of it, but early tries for Saylor before Jack Wellesby grabbed a hat-trick. He was outstanding again, but all the key men, well, magic seems